Hi, Matthias here again. I'm a solopreneur, I make software and I'm selling it as a SaaS. In the previous years, I used to focus much more on coding and building than on marketing. I wrote tons of code, but when it came to selling a subscription, I got only a few users and customers. Writing code was so good, it gave me such a great feeling of reward. Marketing, on the other hand, felt kind of random. Sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't. So after a while, I stopped doing it. Just spent time with my code and you can see it coming. Nobody bought my stuff because they didn't know what I had to offer. The usual build it and they will come thing, right? Like in Field of Dreams. On my way from being a nerd to becoming a marketer, I went through all kinds of emotions. This picture here shows what happens when you go from not knowing and not doing to knowing and doing. In the beginning, I was a pure nerd. I was not knowing and not doing any marketing. After a while, I knew a little bit more, but I felt reluctant to do it because I feared to get random results again. Then I thought, screw it, let's just do it. So I was doing it, but without knowing anything. This felt like a big struggle. It was the time of random experiments. Some worked, some didn't. After a while, as I read more books and took some online courses, I learned a lot more about marketing. I watched some successful entrepreneurs doing it correctly, and I saw they had success with it. But progress was slow. It didn't feel confident. It still felt like a struggle. This was because I had no mental model behind it, no true understanding. I had consumed a lot of theory, yes, but I didn't really know what I was doing. So I was in the upper right quadrant of this picture, but still not at the top. I still had to do some homework here with positioning, messaging, running marketing experiments weekly, and finally forming a habit out of all this. After a while, it felt like the top right corner of this picture. I was knowing and doing marketing with confidence. And success came in the form of paying users for my SaaS. But then I got lazy again. I fell back from the top right to the bottom right, from the space of knowing and doing to the space of knowing but not doing. Laziness came back because marketing still wasn't a habit for me. On the contrary, my lizard brain had to be persuaded every time. Too much limbic friction prevented me from doing it regularly. Several things were still missing. There was no real trigger that told me, Matthias, you have to do marketing now. There was no easy procedure that I could follow, running one marketing experiment after the other. And there was no easy way to know which story to tell on which channel, because I had to write a new story every time I wanted to do marketing anyway. Can you relate to this? If so, you will want to watch my other videos on this channel where I show some solutions to get your positioning sorted, to write some messages, to form stories out of the messages, stories that tell your future customers how their lives will change when they use your product. Here's one of my other videos that you can watch to learn more. And in the description of today's video below, I put a link to my most read blog post about SPME, the marketing habit for introverted solopreneurs who procrastinate on marketing. Watch the videos, read the blog posts, make marketing easy for yourself. Give me a like and subscribe to this channel. Hit that notification bell below so you'll always know when I've got something new on this channel. See you next time.